All right, here we go. I've hit the button and we are streaming. And what is Conn doing? What is going on? This is alleviating nervous energy. This is one of several things I do before most performances. Those of you that know me well know that live performing always causes me anxiety. And boy, putting myself out onto the interwebs with all the things that go with it, only about 10 times so. So today's first topic, how to relieve a little anxiety. We do some breathing before we start. I like this one lately. This is a good quick fix. It's in two quick, out one slow. So this is a good technique to relieve instantly, but not really. But it helps some. And shaking the hands, which is hopefully calms the hands a little bit. So. You missed the part also where I was jumping up and down. That's a tradition of mine before most gigs, and that alleviates the whole body energy. So from jumping up and down to shaking the hands to breathing, somewhere along the line we try and make ourselves presentable, and here we are. So all that's left is to do a little warm-up, to do some sleight of hand magic. I'm going to do that now, and to do so, I will employ the variable tension grippers. And as I do so, I welcome the chat as you come into the room. As with most live episodes, my intent here is to do 10-ish minutes of magic, and then we'll do 15 or 20 minutes of Q&A. So y'all welcome to the stream, watch some tricking, and then we'll do some chatting. I'd love some questions. So if you guys are watching, if you can get your brains working, give me some good input, we'll do some talking. But first, the warm-up with the variable tension gripper. It's phrases like that that allow me to charge $19.95 for these on Conjure.com. Conjure.com is a real thing. The variable tension is just a joke, but it does work. Look, I make little shapes to develop the dexterity. That's an oval. We'll segue into the square or the rectangle, or how about the triangle? Or even better, the 5-fingered pentagram of doom. Doom. Anyone know what that signifies? The doom? Too much free time. Too much free time. Well, I'm glad my mic's on. I just looked to check. It's like 800 things to worry about. Mic's working, we're there. But here's the thing, you use the tension to loosen the molecules, then you can do interesting things like this. Look, I'll put the band on this side of my thumb, but watch as it goes to that side. This is an original technique I'll talk about more in the future. It's an adaptation of the crazy man's handcuffs. It's the crazy man's thumb cuff, if you will. And I'm sure many of you have seen magicians do tricks like this, where they lock two of the bands together, so you can see how they're kind of trapped, right? But if you get the tension right on the warm-up, you can separate one. Well, live and learn. All right, we can throw a fit on the rubber band tricks. To digress, that's one band linked to another, a pairing to penetrate. Because OBS Studio is something we have to be concerned about as well. So I demonstrate that as a segue. Yeah, we're segueing. Part of a loose theme today is routining. I'd like to talk a little about routining today, and notice how I've routined a warm-up into a soft visual that leads into a better visual, and I think now I'm going to demonstrate an even better visual. We're routining. And remind me to talk about this later if I forget as we go on. So here, I'll demonstrate this process with these two rubber bands. In fact, I'll make a four-strand rubber ladder as I attempt to demonstrate Dan Harlan's traveling cache. Traveling cache normally uses a spectator and a bill. I'm going to use this here Sharpie pen. Look how nicely it goes on there all by itself. So that's a Sharpie pen clipped to the top strand of a rubber band ladder. Now watch as it visibly jumps down the ladder one strand at a time. That's from here to there, down to this one, and then all the way to the bottom, all the way down the ladder. Wow, that looks good from my side. How about you? And yes, to answer your question, I can make it go right back to the top. Right back to the top. So that part needs a little bit of work, but we're getting there. Right, there's your variable tension gripper warm-up. Boy, look, I've got the stress alleviated. The fingers feel nimble. OBS is hiccuping, and I don't know why, because we worked so hard to fix that last week. I continue forward with the pre-planned program, segueing into the pasteboard prestidigitation. I got a set list over on the side, which maybe I'll put the set list on eBay later today. And then, you know, if I kick the bucket after this show, one of you will have the last set list that Conn ever did. I digress. I always get requests for cardistry during these live episodes. I'm going to see, no, my settings are good. The video and the output are the same. And let me check and see if pardon me folks for our checkup. I want to see if I am in airplane mode. And quite frankly, I'm unsure. So we'll move on with the cardistry. I'll work through it because I'm a professional and the show goes on. So here it is, a little bit of cardistry, evidence of a misspent youth for your entertainment pleasure. The culmination of years of hard work, practice, and no social life. Hey, Andrew, I see you. I shouted you out, brother. All right, so I intend to do another routine. Yeah, I'm going to do a routine feed of tricks that I've taught either in my tutorials or on Conjure.com. We have the subtle advertisement placed aside. So one of the first things, I'll just kind of talk about these as I go, is a fun 4-card production. Something like this. I'm watching it in the camera with you. So you got to start somewhere. I'm going to start with 4 ladies. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 ladies from a shuffle deck in use. No, that's not part of my standard repertoire, but we put it in the set list anyway. It's an easy production that you can learn. It's called Swindle Aces, but I'm using the queens. And you can look that up on my tutorial playlist. I posted it last week. Learn how to shuffle a deck and cut 4 of a kind. Now, I added this trick in as well because I always get this question in the lives. People always ask me, what was the first magic trick I ever learned? This wasn't the very first one, but this was the first sleight of hand card trick I learned. Just 4 cards. Makes it a little bit easier to follow. And you really only have to follow 1 or 2 of those. I'm just going to use the black ones, and you can watch the clubs or you can watch the spades. Your choice. Clubs or spades. Keep your eye on it. So which one do you think is on top? Which one do you think is... Well, if you said clubs or spades, that's, well, wait a minute. That's the hearts, that's the diamonds. Yeah, that's right. That's a scam. It's a cheat. The clubs and the spades are way over here. And hey, that's Doc Daley's last trick. It was actually my first trick. Doc Daley's last trick, my first trick. I learned that on a video from a magician named Sirocco back in the 80s. And I've never heard of this guy since. But boy, I'd like to see this. I'd like to know some history of Sirocco, because this guy got me started like on the path of sleight of hand. That's, by the way, on Conjure.com, if you go to the website, because not all my videos are on YouTube, some of them are in the classroom. Oh, you know what I got here? We could do this. If you go to Conjure.com, then you can look in the classroom where I have free lessons. That's in the, I think, easy or intermediate card magic section. We're going to wrap up here with a chosen card trick. So let me just see how, yeah, it's blotching, Oliver. It's, I'm having issues. We don't know why, because we tried to fix it really hard last week. But I'm moving on. You know, we're just rolling with it. I'll continue to, you know, plug on. You know, the most complicated shuffle is probably the Pharaoh. I mean, that's probably the one that takes the most time to learn to do well. Or perfectly, anyway. That's perfect, even though I have jokers and I'm missing a couple cards. I'm going to get 1 as a selection. Well, let me just use the Ace of Spades. That's a very prominent card. Take note, it is a one-of-a-kind card. While the cards are not all there, they are all different. The Ace of Spades will be our unique personality. In fact, look, we can even, what's today? It's 3/11/2021. So now we have not only a Monarch card, but a marked Monarch card. Say that along with me if you're playing along at home. A marked Monarch card. 3/11/20, that is the date today. Of course it is. We know this because I'm waiting on taxes still. That's right, it's a week late. I don't have my camera yet, thanks to the IRS, but probably TMI. Let me just do my card trick here. Not really my card trick. It's a Larry Jennings plot with a Frank Garcia handling. Perhaps I've said too much already. What did I just do there? I did absolutely nothing. That was the illusion of doing a double undercut. Here's the real thing. That was an actual double undercut in direct contrast to the thing I did before. Moving right along, the 2 red queens I'll use to make an illusion. Watch this illusion I create with the two red queens. I make the illusion that the card, and this could be a freely chosen card, the 3/11/2021 Ace of Spades, that it jumps up to the red queens. Now, it's not actually there. I mean, it's a pretty good illusion, but it's just that. It's just an illusion. But keep it in frame, Conn. It can't be there when it started in this packet. Yeah, over here, and look, there is one card in between the 2 black queens. Hey, what do you know, Joe? Boom! That is the Visitor. This is actually, I'm going to send you back about 3 years for a tutorial on this one. I did a combo thing where I did, it was Fantastic 5 with the Visitor. So that happened. But there's one more thing. You can check the tutorials for that. One more thing. Yeah, one more thing. Speaking of odd segues, yeah, I forgot to do the commercial. I'm sorry. Every show I like to get commercials in for one of the products we carry. So in this episode, we're going to mention the Real Man Speed Loader Wallet. This is a handcrafted wallet. I keep this one rubber banded shut for security purposes. But look, inside the wallet, there's a pocket. There's a pocket in the wallet. It comes with every wallet. Inside the pocket of the wallet, there's a paper clip and a bill. So there's a bill and paper clip to the bill. Oh, what is this? It's a card. It's a red Monarch card, paper clipped to that $20. And that is your subliminal advertising for the Real Man Speed Loader, available at conjure.com. It's not cheap, but it's good. I'm feeling like it's a closer, and I'm kind of feeling like, you should know, I use this as a closer a lot of the times. Maybe some of you have seen my recent Street Magic clips where the card comes out of the wallet. Well, when you produce a 20, or I use a 5 or a 10 to keep it manageable for my 10-minute show, but that generates bigger bills. The point being, when you take this out and just drop that in your hat as you're doing the finale, it's a moneymaker. So that's the prop that pays for itself, and that is your grand finale for today's episode, and it's a commercial, so I got that in. And wow, what do you know? Look at this. It's 4:15. Man, is that pro or what? I say to myself before the episode, I say, self, let's do 15 minutes of magic, and bam, we're right on the money. So there, get rid of the commercial, and we can turn our attention to doing a little Q&A with the peoples. I've been totally ignoring you guys, and now I'm not. So hey, y'all. Hello from Canada, hello from Iran, hello from Sweden. I love that so much. Can I do a zero shuffle well? I do a passable zero, but it's not my favorite false shuffle. So, do I do it well? When I'm doing, here's the deal. When I'm doing, I want to talk about these. Y'all remind me to talk about these if I forget. That's the rubber bands. Have I done a zero shuffle in the last 2 weeks? I don't think so. I don't recall doing it, but let's see how it looks when I'm totally cold. That's with a 2-card cover, so that's zero. I generally opt for the truffle shuffle or the Erdnase in the hand shuffle, or if I'm doing Triumph, I just use the Di Vernon Triumph shuffle. So if I'm doing this thing, I really like the moment where this happens, right? Where you get to see this, and then, so if I'm doing Triumph, that's what I'm gonna do. There you go. Answer the question, we're off to a running start. More Canadians, hello. When did I start doing magic? 5 p.m. Eastern. Did I not mention that? I began magician when I was a young man, 9-ish, 10-ish, and we'll see a rarer. Here's let me get this out of the way. While I haven't forgotten, while there's no, that was not a real shuffle, sir. That, if you watch the replay and put it in slow motion, you'll probably see that clearly that it's a zero. Look at this. Look at this bag of rubber band love. I don't sell these. I'm just speaking some love. This is Joe Rindfleisch, his pack of rubber bands, which, you know, when I buy magic things, I expect about this many. I think this is going to last me about 2 years. So look at all these lovely colors. Today I was using the Yif Sky Blue, but he like dedicated each color to a different rubber band creator. I love this product so much, so that's what I use today for the rubber band magic. Let's give Joe a plug. Rubberbandmagic.com. Joe's an amazing rubber band creator. I am way behind on my rubber band magic. I have got to get up to speed and learn some of his stuff. There's your unsolicited review and plug for the day. Yeah, Oliver, Zero Shuffle. I live in New Orleans where Steve Reynolds lives, and through osmosis, I've absorbed some of the teachings that he supports. If you want a good Zero Shuffle guy, Steve Reynolds is the man to go to. So he's got Beyond the Z, which has some just mind-boggling table shuffled work. So look, one of the things, here's a question from me to the viewers of this stream, be it here or be it, and considering different types of content to feature, I'd like to know what my viewers want to see. So I'm really hoping to get some feedback in the comments, or you can email me at conjure@gmail.com. I'd rather keep an open forum discussion in the comments. Ed McGowan in the house, my kindred spirit from many moons. Very good to see you, Ed. Hello, my friend. Nice. Ed McGowan. Speaking of wonderful card men. You just watched the shuffle in slow-mo. I do it passively, and note it's not my go-to pack. You know, any suggestions on the Prism deck? I do not own this deck. I did get someone ask a question about it in one of the comments. I directed that to my chameleon sandwich routine, which I teach on YouTube. The color changing deck routine, and that's a great finish for that trick. You know, you go from what appears to be a red deck to a deck that's a rainbow pack. My routine revolves around a sandwich effect, so it's a couple of queens that do some things, and then the deck changes color. It's a kicker kind of situation. Oh yeah, okay, I thought it might have been you. Yeah, it's a good trick to learn, right? It's accessible, and let me tell you, that trick will fool just about anyone. Oliver asked, did you ever do a lecture on penguin magic? I did. Look, let's see if we can make this work over here. My girlfriend, my fiance, just put that up the other day below the hats. So yeah, that's my penguin magic caricature. I did that, what, 5 or 6 years ago? Boy, let me tell you, that lecture was not my favorite event. My bad. It was at the end of a lecture tour, so I'd been on the road for about 2 weeks straight, and I showed up at their studio following John Luca's close-up convention in Detroit, where I got about 3 hours sleep. So 2 weeks on the road, 3 hours of sleep over the weekend, and I show up at the Penguin Magic Studio with at my wit's end. As we talked about opening this this broadcast, I get nervous. So you can imagine being my first live online lecture, how nervous I was. So yeah, it's there. Go buy it. Maybe I'll get some royalties one day. You know, it's here's what you do, bro. If you like my magic, just stay tuned to my YouTube channel, because as soon as I get a camera, and this is all dependent on the IRS now, thank you, government, I'm going to unleash my, everything. I'm just going to put it all on YouTube. Some of it will probably be in a membership area. But if you'd like to learn my magic, you're in the right place. Just stick around. I'm going to get to the gooder stuff in the very near future. Give us your thoughts on Rick Lax. Ooh, what a juicy topic. All right, let's start. That's a good one, Rick Lax. Love having juicy topics. So let's start here. He did something that garnered the attention of the public in a big way, right? Someone noticed him. People like what he does. Obviously, he's successful at what he's doing. And I always have trouble criticizing my ADD. But I always have trouble criticizing people who are successful in their field. So you're going to find me hard-pressed to criticize Rick Lax, especially considering that when his attention was devoted to magic, his output was changing the game. Many online social media magicians have stolen his material and garnered great success using the material he created. And most of his commercial releases are strong and worthy of your attention. So Rick Lax deserves to be looked at. Do I have respect for what he's currently doing? No, but I don't have a lot of respect for anything. Do I have respect for maybe his first 5 years? The deepest respect. So there's my thoughts on Rick Lax. If I'm going to shed a tear for anybody in that kind of ballpark, it's Justin Flom. And hello, Justin Flom, who for the longest time held one of the fondest spots in my heart for an online magician. And let me tell you, if you go back, I'm assuming these videos are up, if you go look at some of Justin's earlier online work, it's revolutionary and it's super strong. He was able to bring the elements that go into a TV production onto YouTube. We're going back 8 years ago, maybe 6, high-end material. And now he's exposing major stage illusions for yucks on Facebook. Yes, they pay well. Maybe one day I'll find out. Maybe one day you'll be talking about me like people talk about Rick Lax. Be interesting. We'll find out together. For now, I try to fight the good fight. Woo! There we go. We just unleashed a little bit of woo! Keeping the flare alive. I'm a huge fan. I wish I knew how to do magic like you. Well, then all you have to do is stick around and you'll have that opportunity. In the interim, may I recommend books? You go to conjure.com and check out my recommended reading list, from which I do not profit at all, but you can check out my recommended beginners books there, as well as the classroom, where I have categorized several things of magic, several subjects: easy card magic, intermediate card magic, coin magic, variety magic. I don't know what this is. This is not, product tutorials. You have to buy the products. I have those too. The select line for beginners, but they're there and more things will be forthcoming. Right. This leads me into kind of the wind down, but I did want to talk about a couple, just one more thing before we go. I had some feedback on one of my videos or threads, and I'll get to that question next, Oliver. The suggestion was this. Listen close and let me know if you think this is an idea that anyone would be interested in. Viewer submitted content, videos, maybe it's a YouTube video, maybe it's something someone sends me. I critique the work. So I take a look at it, analyze the construction of the routine. I'm not a huge presentation guy. That's just not my forte, but I offer advice there as well as the mechanical construction of a trick. Go any direction there. And just wondering if anyone would like to participate in that, a little open feedback, kind of give and take situation that might be online. So if that floats your boat, let me know, and we'll proceed accordingly. So Oliver continues with the good questions. Can you give me some advice on creating original magic? Was thinking on going a Fool Us, but can't make a routine. Yeah, that's a tough one. Creativity, that's like the subject that has no real good answer. It's different for everyone. For me, it's derivative creativity where I'm inspired by other arts and maybe I need to change something to suit my inner happiness. Occasionally, and very rarely, we come across things that are original. But the only real way that I'm aware of doing this is to apply that creative muscle extensively. And this includes things like taking notes so that your thoughts are captured. Some great apps for that. I always keep a pen and paper ready, and you can see, like, these are my things. Always taking notes, and the things, the to-do lists help that. Mind mapping is great for generating creative ideas. You can search that. And those are some of the suggestions that have helped me. Reading a lot is what worked for me probably more than anything. And this is the springboard that lets me absorb material to be creative with. So there's your answer. How do I get to that? How do I give you a video? Well, there we go. It sounds like Ed. Good to see you, my friend. Ciao. I'm almost done here. We're wrapping this up in 2 minutes. Okay, we're getting positive feedback. The short answer is to email me, and probably the best email is conjure@gmail.com. That's TotalBot says, share the link. That's the better solution. Put something on YouTube that I can look at and others can as well. If that's not an option, okay, we can go all kinds of routes on this, and I'm just suggesting it as just kind of a brainstorm situation here. So, love to have more feedback in the comment section. Please put your ideas there. And if we get, let's even say 5 people interested, I'll proceed and we'll do that. And maybe I'll do a video that addresses all the situations. Would love to do it, really. One of my goals in this YouTube situation is to help magicians. In short, the mission goal, make better magic. The mission statement, it's 3 words. Make better magic. For me, for the world, for the people watching, to be inspired to do better things. And I think by critiquing or adjusting or helping new artists, maybe we can do that. Hey, Mike, we're talking about doing viewer submitted videos where I give a little analyzation and analyze the work, be it sleight of hand construction or presentation angles or the hook or the finale. So just taking submissions from viewers or subscribers, and then doing some feedback. So that's what we're considering that. At what point do you get to call yourself a magician? Wow, a deep question. I think the answer to that is when you show someone a magic trick. If they have a moment of astonishment, then yes, then that is when you are a magician. That answer is different for everyone. Some magicians never do magic. I have many wonderful friends who choose not to perform. They choose not to perform. I'm going to perform one more thing that's loosely related to something I just did. Someone asked to show a trick, and while I was pointing at things you can learn earlier, we were talking. Do I still have that ace? We'll use this card here. I'm just going to do my triumph trick, and then we're going to... I am polite. You're right, I am polite. Hey Charlie, 16 live. Yeah, but I didn't advertise this one. I was kind of doing this sub rosa because until I have my camera, I'm not going to blast these things out hardcore. But dig it. I appreciate every single person that watches this. Many of my kindred spirits have zero audience. So. This I have a tutorial on. Ooh, look at that autofocus. Woohoo! Good times. Imagine this with a nice Canon M50. We're going to get there, folks. We're going to get there. I'm going to create the illusion that this card goes back 27 from the top, but that's just an illusion. TMI, TMI. I'm going to shuffle the cards. As I do this, I'm going to look for that inscription on the Ace of Spades. To make it easier, I'm going to turn some cards face up. Now watch close, because what you see is what I do. Cards are shuffled face up and face down, and as noted, I'm looking for that marked Ace of Spades. Now, if I don't see it, this indicates that it's probably one of the upside down cards. That's mathematical. Yeah. So if it's one of the upside down cards, well, that's going to narrow it down considerably. Check it out. That's one card upside down in the pack. That is pretty much right from the book, Guy Vernon's Triumph. Got to be one of my all-time favorite card tricks. If you learn it, maybe it will be one of yours. On my tutorial playlist, if you go check it out, visit my main page with the long form content, and you can learn that. Is my name really Doug Conn? And I appreciate the kind words. Yeah, that's my God-given name. Hey, Amy. Yeah, I'm learning as I go. I started live streaming on TikTok, and we're bringing the jam to Thursday. I do live streams at 5 p.m. every Thursday, so stay tuned. That's kind of my situation for now. Glad you enjoyed that, Charlie. Olaf, thank you. I've inspired you. Love hearing that. How can I get better at magic? It always, first of all, I know, it's like this stream's supposed to be over and I'm about to go down the rabbit hole. Here, I'm going to end this stream with my advice at getting better at magic. It's a great question. You'll learn from other magicians, the first 3 rules are practice, practice, practice. There's 4 steps, actually. Here are the steps. Practice, rehearse, dress rehearse, and perform. Now, I'm assuming that you have 2 or 3 tricks that you can do well. That's where the practice comes in. Rehearse them with a presentation, and then dress rehearse them in like a routine that I spoke of earlier, maybe 3 in a row. That's how I advocate learning tricks, which I learned from Michael Skinner and the wonderful publications I've read in my life. And then you got to get out and really perform it, and that's when you'll get good. When you do this one over and over and over, that's how you get good at magic. To get to this one, though, you got to start here. So it's not a gimme. Even if you're doing self-working magic, you got to practice it. You got to rehearse the presentation. You got to dress rehearse it, and then boom, you got to do it. There we go. I feel like that's a great finish to this show. I don't even know what this is. I don't even really have a name for this. Doug Conn Live. If you got a name for this, hey, shoot it in the comments. And dig it, folks. That's going to wrap up this stream. We've done a loose 30 and finale'd with Divernan's Triumph and some wisdom words. Stay tuned for more. I'm going to go back in the French Quarter this weekend. I'm hoping to capture a video on how I set up my street rig. And maybe next week will be street performing week. So I'll have that information, and then I'll teach you one of the tricks I do on the street and give you some of that material on the shorts. So that's my loose plan moving forward into this weekend, weather permitting. And hopefully the dang camera gets here after the IRS, and then we'll have, what I really want is 2 cameras. I'm blabbering. I'm going to the Doug Conn Magic Show. I think we can do better than that. Although, I mean, like this. More time, there we go. It's throwing a fit once more. And that's my cue to say, hey, y'all. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your energy. Appreciate every one of you. And yo, I'll see you next time. Ciao for now.